If your kitchen has even one of these 7 things, money will quietly slip away, peace will be hard to keep, and your family could even face decline. Hello, I am Master Quan. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is not just a place for cooking, it is considered the heart of the home, the vault where your family's wealth is stored. Whether prosperity gathers or not, whether the family lives in harmony or not, is largely influenced by the energy flowing through the kitchen. If your kitchen violates serious Feng Shui taboos, your wealth could leak out like water, and your blessings could quietly disappear, all without you even realizing it. On the other hand, when your kitchen is properly aligned with Feng Shui, it becomes a space that nourishes long-term abundance and lasting harmony. In today's video, I will reveal 7 things that should absolutely never be kept in the kitchen. This is not superstition. These are principles based on airflow, the 5 elements, and energy balance proven over thousands of years. If your kitchen contains any of these items, it is best to make a change as soon as possible to prevent money from slipping away and to preserve the prosperity of your family. But before we dive into the main content, leave a positive affirmation in the comments. This is your way of activating the energy of abundance starting today. Something like, I keep my kitchen warm and clean so that wealth and blessings will always stay with my family. And if you would like to keep receiving valuable Feng Shui tips for prosperity, make sure to subscribe to the Master Quan channel, Feng Shui for Modern Wealth, so I can continue to walk alongside you on this journey to lasting abundance. So what exactly are these 7 things? Let's dive in right now. Number 1, putting a washing machine in the kitchen. In Feng Shui, the kitchen represents fire energy, the flame that keeps a family warm, happy, and prosperous. In contrast, a washing machine belongs to the element of water, associated with moisture, movement, and constant flow. When these 2 opposing forces are placed in the same space, they create a strong clash. Water overcomes fire. This clash is not just symbolic, it has real-life effects. The kitchen needs to stay dry and warm to maintain positive energy, while the washing machine introduces steam, humidity, and bacteria from dirty laundry. As a result, a space that is supposed to feel cozy and clean becomes damp, heavy, and even polluted. From a Feng Shui perspective, this is exactly what prevents wealth energy from settling. When fire is weakened by water, prosperity cannot remain in the home. Money might come in, but it disappears just as quickly. Many families with this imbalance often find themselves spending more than they earn or facing unexpected expenses that throw off their finances, and it all traces back to this hidden conflict. The next consequence is health. A kitchen with a washing machine tends to be humid, which encourages mold and bacteria. When this environment exists alongside food, vegetables, and fresh ingredients, contamination becomes almost inevitable. Over time, family members may suffer from digestive issues, respiratory problems, and a weakened immune system. And beyond that, the water-fire conflict also disturbs the energy of the space, which directly affects our mental state. People living in such an environment are more prone to irritability, frustration, or stress. That is why a kitchen in violation of this principle often leads to increased family tension and frequent arguments. Putting a washing machine in the kitchen may seem convenient, but that convenience comes with long-term risks. Feng Shui always emphasizes this. Every space should serve its proper function. The kitchen is where fire energy thrives and nourishes life. A washing machine, representing water, belongs in a separate area. Mixing these 2 conflicting elements disrupts the natural balance. So it is best to move the washing machine to another location, such as a laundry room, a covered outdoor area, or any separate zone. If for some reason you must place it in the kitchen, then there should be a clear divider, and it must be placed at a safe distance from the stove. This helps reduce, at least partially, the water-fire conflict. Number 2, keeping a broom in the kitchen. A broom is a tool used to sweep away dust, collect trash, and remove negative energy. In Feng Shui, it is considered an object that disperses energy, meaning it tends to scatter positive energy instead of preserving it. When placed in the kitchen, the broom not only brings in dirt and bacteria, but it also unintentionally pushes away the good energy in the space. This makes a room that should feel warm and clean become heavy and filled with stagnant air. Symbolically, the kitchen is seen as the wealth vault of the home. Keeping a broom here is like using a cleaning tool in your money storage. It prevents wealth from gathering and staying long-term. That is why our ancestors used to say, "A broom in the kitchen sweeps prosperity right out of the house." Not to mention, brooms are often used throughout the house, including in damp areas like bathrooms. Bringing that same broom into the kitchen carries a high risk of spreading bacteria. Over time, this can affect food quality and ultimately the health of everyone in the home. So the best practice is to keep the broom in a separate area outside the kitchen. If space is limited, you can store it in a cabinet, container, or covered holder to keep it completely isolated from the cooking space. This not only keeps your kitchen neat and sanitary, but also helps preserve a stable and positive energy flow. Number 3, mirrors in the kitchen. Mirrors have the natural ability to reflect. When placed in the kitchen, they double the image of the stove and everything around it. In Feng Shui, reflecting the fire multiple times through a mirror can cause an imbalance in energy. Rather than keeping fire energy steady, the mirror amplifies and disturbs it, and may even create conflict with the water elements in the kitchen, such as the sink or faucet. In addition, mirrors create illusions of space which can confuse the flow of energy in the kitchen. When energy becomes chaotic, it is nearly impossible to maintain peace and harmony. In Feng Shui, this translates to difficulty in retaining wealth and long-lasting blessings. Another important point is that the kitchen is tied to privacy and warmth. When you introduce a mirror into this space, it can make the environment feel cold and exposed. Instead of creating a peaceful atmosphere, it brings a subtle sense of unease to family members, especially when light or fire is constantly being reflected. The most obvious consequence of having a mirror in the kitchen is energy imbalance. The kitchen needs focus and stability, while the mirror duplicates and disrupts. Over time, this can affect the family's emotional harmony, make it harder to attract wealth, and even take a toll on mental health. So the best advice is, do not hang a mirror in the kitchen under any circumstances. If your goal is to make the space feel bigger, try alternatives like using light-colored paint, natural lighting, or a good lighting system. These methods are safe, effective, and make the kitchen feel bright and open without creating any energetic conflict. Number 4, placing an altar in the kitchen. In Feng Shui, the altar is considered the most sacred space in the entire home. It is where descendants connect with their ancestors, a place where spiritual energy gathers, symbolizing protection and inherited blessings. Because of its spiritual significance, the altar requires peace, purity, and solemnity. The kitchen, on the other hand, is a daily living space filled with fire energy, smoke, strong odors, and cooking grease. While this space is essential to daily life, it lacks the purity that a place of worship demands. This stark contrast makes placing an altar in the kitchen one of the biggest mistakes many households unknowingly make. When the altar is placed in the kitchen, its sacred energy is disturbed. The intense fire energy, combined with food smells and oily residue, strips away the altar's sanctity and turns a space meant for reverence into one of chaos. From a Feng Shui standpoint, this weakens the spiritual energy, making it harder for wealth to gather and blessings to stay. From a spiritual perspective, it is considered disrespectful, as ancestors are not being honored in a pure, quiet place as they should be. This does not just affect wealth. When the altar is not in the right place, the spiritual connection between generations gradually fades. Over time, families may find their unity weakened and their shared beliefs less certain. This subtle disconnection can lead to instability in the household, career struggles, and declining health. In terms of placement, an altar should be located in a clean, bright, well-ventilated area that is also quiet and peaceful. Ideally, it should be in a separate space, away from the kitchen and other noisy areas. It also should not be placed near the restroom or directly across from the front door, as both positions disrupt the sacred energy. If space is limited and placing the altar near the kitchen is unavoidable, then a clear divider must be used. A closed partition or a tall cabinet that separates the altar from the cooking space will help minimize the effects of heat and food odors. Regular cleaning is also essential to prevent buildup of grease and dust. Still, this is only a temporary solution. It does not replace the need for a truly appropriate location. Number 5, leaving knives and scissors exposed in the kitchen. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is viewed as the family's wealth vault, a place that gathers and nourishes life energy. It should feel warm, calm, and balanced for abundance to stay. However, a common mistake in many homes is leaving knives and scissors out in the open, hanging on walls, stuck on cutting boards, or scattered on countertops. While this might seem convenient from a Feng Shui perspective, it can create serious negative effects. Knives, scissors, and other sharp tools all carry what is known as cutting mod energy. These tools are made to slice, divide, and separate, so they naturally radiate sharp, harsh energy. When left exposed, they not only disturb the peacefulness of the space, but can also metaphorically cut through the good energy that is meant to gather and nourish wealth. Symbolically, the kitchen represents nourishment, fullness, and unity. If that space is filled with uncovered sharp tools, it's like slicing through your financial stability, making it difficult to maintain lasting prosperity. This is why Feng Shui strongly warns against leaving knives and scissors out in the open in the kitchen. Beyond energy, there is also a safety concern. When sharp tools are left out or loosely placed, they pose a serious risk, especially to children or the elderly. The kitchen is supposed to be a space of warmth and care, but visible sharp objects create a cold, tense atmosphere that drains positive energy. Feng Shui emphasizes that knives and scissors should always be stored properly. The best way is to keep them in a closed drawer or in a covered container made specifically for that purpose. This not only keeps your kitchen safe, but also minimizes cutting energy. When sharp tools are neatly stored away, the kitchen feels more balanced, clean, and pleasant. It is good for both Feng Shui and everyday organization. Some families are used to hanging knives on the wall for convenience. If this habit is hard to break, consider using a wooden block or a closed knife holder. Just make sure the blades are not pointing directly at the kitchen entrance or the dining table, as these positions can create energetic conflict. Number 6, keeping large plants in the kitchen. Many people enjoy bringing greenery into their homes. Some even place large potted plants in the kitchen, hoping to create a fresh and natural feel. But in Feng Shui, not every space is suitable for plants, especially large plants in the kitchen. While it may seem harmless, this habit can create serious energy imbalances. When a large plant is placed in the kitchen, it brings in an overwhelming amount of wood energy. According to the 5 elements, wood feeds fire. But when wood becomes too dominant, it starts draining fire instead of nourishing it. This weakens the flame that symbolizes prosperity and abundance, making it difficult for wealth energy to settle. Another issue is airflow. The kitchen requires proper ventilation to release heat, smoke, and food odors. A large plant can block air circulation, making the energy flow in the kitchen sluggish. Instead of creating a fresh atmosphere, a big plant may make the space feel heavy and suffocating. In Feng Shui, this means wealth energy is being blocked, unable to spread throughout the home. Practically speaking, large plants come with moisture from the soil and leaves. In the kitchen, this humidity combined with heat and grease can create the perfect environment for mold and bacteria. Large plants may even attract insects, which affects the cleanliness of a space that should be highly sanitary. This creates a clear conflict between aesthetic desire and practical use. Also, the kitchen is meant to feel warm and cozy. When a large object like a plant dominates the space, it throws off the harmony of the layout. Rather than bringing peace, it makes the kitchen feel cramped, cluttered, and less inviting. From a Feng Shui standpoint, this is a sign of unbalanced energy that can affect mood and family connection. If you want greenery in your kitchen, opt for small plants or herbs. A few small pots of basil, mint, or scallions near the window are both practical and symbolic. They add life to the space without disturbing the Feng Shui layout. This is the best way to bring nature into the kitchen while maintaining harmony and balance. Number 7. Keeping broken appliances or chipped dishes in the kitchen. The kitchen usually holds the most household items, from electrical appliances to bowls, plates, and cooking pots. It is closely associated with abundance and wealth. But one mistake that people often overlook is keeping broken appliances or chipped dishes in the kitchen. While they may seem harmless, these items carry negative energy in Feng Shui. Let's start with broken appliances. The kitchen naturally belongs to the fire element, but in modern times it includes many electric devices, like induction cooktops, microwaves, refrigerators, and exhaust fans. When a device is broken but still left sitting in the kitchen, it becomes dead energy, no longer alive or flowing. In Feng Shui, broken items are considered sources of stagnant energy that drag the entire space down. The longer they stay, the more they accumulate negative energy, which affects wealth and may lead to career or financial setbacks. Now let's talk about chipped dishes. In traditional belief, dishes represent nourishment and the treasure storage of the family. A full bowl of rice or an unbroken soup bowl symbolizes completeness and harmony. In contrast, chipped or cracked dishes symbolize damage, lack, or loss. Keeping them around, even if still usable, is like accepting cracks in your finances or relationships. Beyond symbolism, these items also affect your mindset and health. A chipped plate or cracked bowl, no matter how functional, brings a feeling of unease and uncertainty. Over time, this can create subconscious anxiety and lower the overall energy of the household. Not to mention, chipped dishes can cause cuts, and broken appliances pose fire or electrical hazards if left unchecked. Feng Shui has a core principle: do not keep broken items in your living space. Damaged things not only ruin the look of your home, but also collect negative energy, making your environment heavy and unmotivated. Since the kitchen is your wealth hub, letting broken items accumulate here makes it hard to maintain abundance. Now that we know which items should absolutely not be in the kitchen, there is one more factor just as important: the direction of the stove. This directly impacts your family's wealth and prosperity. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is not just about cleanliness or layout. The direction of the stove plays a key role. That's because this is where the home's energy gathers before flowing outward. If aligned with a favorable direction, wealth and harmony follow. But if it faces the wrong way, it can invite conflict, drain finances, affect health, and disturb peace. The stove belongs to the fire element, so directions that support fire bring benefits. South is ideal, as it represents pure fire energy. A stove facing south keeps the flame strong, symbolizing success and prosperity. East and southeast are also great. Both belong to wood, which feeds fire. A stove facing either direction draws in natural support, helping wealth and good fortune grow. The southeast is especially linked to abundance, offering long-term prosperity when chosen. Some directions must be avoided. The northwest is the most harmful, violating the Feng Shui rule known as Kuo Tianmon, or the scorched heavenly gate. This direction belongs to metal, which clashes with fire, weakening the stove's energy and leading to misfortune. West, also ruled by metal, brings similar issues: tension and instability. North, ruled by water, puts out fire, which blocks financial growth and work progress. One golden rule in Feng Shui: place the stove in a bad location but face it in a good direction. This is called sitting on bad, facing good. It helps block negative energy while drawing in positive flow, bringing harmony and wealth to the household. Also, the stove should never face the front door, the bedroom door, or the bathroom door, as these positions disrupt the energy flow and can negatively affect both prosperity and health. It is clear that the direction of the stove is not just a minor detail. It is a key factor that determines whether your household will thrive or struggle. A Feng Shui-friendly kitchen is not just clean and tidy, it must also face the right direction so fire energy can grow strong, wealth can thrive, and blessings can endure. When your stove is placed in the proper direction, the family flame will always burn bright, warming every meal and sustaining prosperity for generations. As you can see, the kitchen is not just a space for cooking. It is your family's treasure vault, the true heart of the home. All it takes is one misplaced item or a poorly chosen direction, and the energy flow in your home will be disrupted. Once that balance is thrown off, it becomes difficult to retain wealth, maintain good health, or live in happiness. Even the smallest things, like a broom, a knife, or an oversized plant, can quietly drain the blessings from your home. But the good news is, when you know how to eliminate these feng shui taboos, keep the kitchen clean, bright, and facing the right direction, your family flame will be protected, and wealth will naturally grow from there. What is important to remember is this: a kitchen aligned with good feng shui is not about luxury or complexity. It is about creating a space that is clean, balanced, and free of conflicting elements. When you take care of your kitchen in the right way, you are planting the seeds of long-term abundance, allowing future generations to benefit from the blessings you nurtured today. Before we wrap up, I invite you to leave a positive affirmation in the comments, a way to activate abundance energy right now. You could write something like, "I keep my kitchen warm and clean so that wealth and happiness will always stay with my family." If you found these insights helpful, do not forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. In upcoming videos, I will continue to share powerful feng shui tips for attracting wealth, so you can not only protect your finances, but also cultivate lasting peace and prosperity. Remember, keeping your kitchen warm is not just about making good meals. It is about keeping the flame of happiness alive and preserving fortune for your entire family.